You want to open the blinds?
That's the way I feel it. That's a man. More going on. It's true.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay, we are in open session. We have two items. Two motions to act upon. So, first motion related to the topic discussed with possible action, utilities accountant position providing interim in-house comptroller treasurer assistance and compensation. I will make the motion pending legal review. City of Mayville will agree to compensate our utility accountant Nicole DeBaker for her interim role in the comptroller capacity. The compensation will be based upon her hourly rate, taking her salary and figuring an hourly rate from that and paying it in the means that our HR attorney approves. You know that?
From which
Well,
source?
I don't think we figured that.
I don't think we
We
figured that out
didn't
yet.
figure that out. But that was my question.
Just make the recommendation account.
That was my question. You know, who's gonna determine?
Well, and if the motion is to recommend it to council, council can make the decision where it comes from.
There we go.
Sounds good to me. I'll second that motion.
Okay. Mayor Wynn's motion, second by Schmidt. Any further discussion? Please take the roll.
Alderperson Schmidt,
Aye.
Alderperson Olson,
Aye.
Alderperson Newman,
Aye.
Alderperson Smith,
Aye.
Alderperson Tillman.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, thank you, everyone. The next item, possible action. We interviewed a number of candidates for a comptroller treasurer. My motion to the council, to this committee is recommend that we offer the job, the position of comptroller treasurer to Anthony Meeks, offering a base salary of $82,500, 3 weeks salary prorated for the remainder of 2023. Anthony must relocate at his own expense. In the interim, he will have the option of remote work. We'd like him to start as soon as possible, September 1st or sooner.
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor. Did you say 3 weeks salary?
I meant 3 weeks vacation. I may have said 3 weeks salary,
Yeah.
3 weeks vacation,
Okay.
prorated. Is that what you read?
You did say salary, but yes, for vacation.
Okay.
Is that also pending reference background check, drug screen?
Standard background. Yep.
Any translated for you?
Yeah, exactly. She said.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, second by Alderman Smith. Any further discussion?
No, that has to be background.
Yes, that was a part of that. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good to me.
All right, please take the roll.
Alderperson Smith,
Aye.
Alderperson Newman,
Aye.
Alderperson Olson,
Aye.
Alderperson Tillman,
Abstain.
Alderperson Schmidt.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right. In terms of the Mayville, the Personnel Committee of the whole, item 6, items of discussion, possible action. Presentation from Tim, is it Schwenke? Schenke, thank you. WCMA to discuss creation of full-time city administrator position. Would you care to step up to the podium?
With me tonight is Diane Robertson, who is also a senior advisor. Diane was an administrator in nearby Thiensville for how many years? 21 years. And first of all, the position of, let's be clear about something. The position of senior advisor is a voluntary position. We don't get paid. We come because we believe in good, open local government. And that's why we're sort of preachers for the cause, but we also help city managers, city administrators across the state of Wisconsin if they have problems or issues. We don't do their budgets, but we will counsel them and try to assist them doing their jobs. There are 3 of us in the state currently. We're looking for a 4th. We're usually retired, but we are not, to be very, very clear, we are not consultants. We don't do that. We're not gonna, if you decide to go this route, then we will not assist you in hiring someone or finding someone. That's not our purpose. I've given you some materials that I hope you've had a chance to read since you've had kind of a long meeting already. I'm not going to go through it in great detail, but I'm going to try to get some high points. Plus, I noted, and we're retired, so sometimes we have other things to do. But I have updated this. I noted that my presentation that I sent you was dated in July of 2016. I've updated some things, so I'll make note of that as we go through this. Also, when we get to questions and so on, you can direct the hard ones to Diane.
There you go.
And then I won't have to do that. A couple of things about city administrators versus not having one. Number one, the administrator would do what you just spent 2 hours doing. That's the kind of thing we're trained to do to interview. I'm not saying you're doing a bad job of it, but your time should be spent on policies. Hiring people is not policy. Hiring people is an administrative function, and if you hire the right person, they can bring you recommendations. They can bring you 2 applicants or a single recommendation, whatever, but they could streamline your agendas and allow you time to debate deeply policy issues that the community is currently debating or undertaking. City administrators, city managers manage the day-to-day affairs of the community. They take their directives from you. They don't operate independently of you. We carry out your policy. That's what we are supposed to do. And if we're not doing it, you can fire us. You will undoubtedly have a contract with an administrator. It'll have provisions in it for termination. One of those will not be that the administrator gets to operate independent of the city council or the mayor. We take our direction from you. And if we're not doing that, you can fire us. And Mr. Mayor, don't take offense at this, but you can't fire the mayor. It's not allowed by state law. You may have to wait 4 years to do that, and it may not happen. I don't know that that's the case here. I'm just telling you what the difference is. So if you don't like the job I'm doing, you can terminate me. There likely will be terms in my contract for severance, and that's negotiable. The duties, as I explained, are to carry out policy. They bring fiscal responsibility. That's one of our primary roles. Trying to employ modern administrative practices, including hiring, discipline, budgeting, and so on. One other important factor in relation to a very important factor is members of the Wisconsin City Management Association and the International City Management Association, of which I'm a member and Diane's a member of both, have a code of ethics. And if we violate that code of ethics, we can be publicly, that can be put in our national newsletter. We can be publicly admonished. We can be kicked out of the association. Any number of things can happen to us. But we all subscribe to this code of ethics and we believe in it. Some common myths of hiring an administrator is you lose control. On the contrary, you maintain total control, and if the person that you hire for this position is not doing the job, then you act accordingly. You discipline that person or you terminate them and move on to something else. Another common myth is that administrators cost too much. And the fact is, administrators almost always reduce taxes, reduce waste, provide new methods for financing government operations, and do not cost communities more money. As far as salaries are concerned, this is one of the areas that I updated. I looked this morning at WCMA every year does a salary survey of its members. And I looked at it this morning and I just took the communities from 3,000 population to 6,000 in population. And there's about 30 communities that are in that group, and their average salary is $93,290. The high salary in that grouping is $130,000. The low salary is $53,000. So there's quite a range, but the average is 93. Let's see. What else? There's numerous ways to hire city managers, city administrators. Let me explain something first. In Wisconsin, there are two forms of government allowed, or actually more. But if you want professional management, you can use the city manager form of government, but that will require a referendum of the community. City managers have explicit statutory authority, and you can look that up. I won't bore you with the details. And the city administrator form of government, on the other hand, is allowed, but you determine what the role of the administrator is going to be. you don't, excuse me, if you don't want the administrator hiring department heads, you can include that in your ordinance. The local ordinance determines what the administrator has authority to do. And that is something you create. You can find model ordinances on the WCMA, ICMA website. You can contact your neighboring communities. They will give you likely their ordinances. So there's plenty of them around. If you decide to hire an administrator or city manager, you can do so yourselves. You don't need any other assistance. I'd recommend your city attorney be involved, or at least, help design the contract the way you want it. Most communities these days use a search firm, and there are several of them in Wisconsin. I included them in the resources part of my materials. If nothing else, if you decide to go this route, I would suggest that you interview them at least to hear what they have to say. You don't have to hire them, but I recommend you at least listen to what they say. They know who's out there, they know who's a fit for you, and they will make an effort to find the right person for you. So at least hear them out. And if you decide to go this way. Diane, did you want to add anything?
There are 13 communities that are formed under the manager, form of government, which is rare, but they have no power. Basic difference with hire, fire, that you give your manager that authority. I was that a manager in the village of Greendale had that authority. So it basically gives that manager carte blanche and then bring policy decisions back to you.
So, I'll open it to questions.
Is there a cause for doing these interviews?
By a search firm?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it depends upon how many people you want to interview, but probably $16,000 to $20,000. But I don't know. I haven't been in the game for a while, so.
Sorry, that's what they charge for doing an interview, or that's what they charge if you hire somebody?
That's what they charge if they do a search for you. And they will participate, and that will include the interviews and so on. But I'm not representing any search firm. And I don't know, I haven't been involved in a search for quite some time, so that all may have changed, but typically when you hire them to find candidates, to bring them to you. Typically, they'll bring 3 to 5. If you're not happy with them, they'll go out and find some more. And they'll do a national search for such a person.
And they'll search for people that fit what you're looking for in a manager.
It's your profile, yes.
So did you two do a little bit of background check on the city of Mayville before tonight?
I did not.
Okay, then that kind of. Now, I was gonna ask you, do you think we're in need for a city admin in the city of Mayville? That's why I asked you did a little bit of background checking. So.
I did not, but I can tell you this based on my experience. Because I have managed in communities as small as 3,000 and as large as 40,000 and population. And all of them needed it.
Okay.
I'm gonna be blunt here. What I witnessed here tonight is a waste of your time. You can hire a professional to do that for you and focus your time on the things that are really important.
Policies and
Policy
issues.
Yeah,
Okay.
And my smallest community was 1.1 square miles, 3,100 people. And that, they definitely need a ton also. So my largest was about 17,000.
Can I see your face?
I have no questions right now.
What I'm going,
Well, one of the things that intrigues me, talk about, a good city administrator can help save money help the city save money. And, we're a community that's been very, very frugal for a lot of years, and, we think we've cut our budget every which way to Sunday. So it's like, when you talk about saving money by cutting expenses, like I'm wondering if there's more detail you can provide on that, because asking people to do more with less, I'm sure that's not what you're talking about.
no. I've worked as an administrator or a city manager for 6 different communities. Every one of them will tell you that they are the most frugal, the most not cost effective, because not all of them work.
Cost conscious anyway?
Yeah, but cost conscious. And as a city manager, I was still able to save them money by maybe terminating a department head that needed to be terminated. I had some department heads that were on the verge of, if not, and some did have lawsuits filed against them for abusive behavior, sexual harassment. And I was able to step in some cases, nip it in the bud and save that community some money by avoiding a lawsuit or avoiding one in the future. That saves money. There's many different ways to do things. There are grants. There's hiring the right kind of people. And I'm sure you do a good job of that. I'm not trying to.
Well, the grants part of it, I think, is a great deal of interest to us.
Yeah. It usually is, and you're hiring a professional that's been trained in that. Now, when I say that, many of the applicants will come with a degree in public administration. Most of them master's degrees. I happen to have a master's in business administration. That's just the route I came up with. Some have engineering degrees. So you get a different look at your budget, you get different viewpoint.
I saw you had a river coming through your town. I also did, and I got in my little Beansville, 3,100 people, a nationwide FEMA grant. So there were multiple applications nationwide, and I won it with like 75 minutes. So I mean, they can search, and the right words in the application can get you those grants.
which is something I want to explore. Been talking about it for a couple of years and haven't done anything, so maybe you can tell me a few things later. Did you have the opportunity to look at the package that he emailed us by any chance?
Yep.
All right, Mike, you got yours and hard copy.
I think that's theirs. I got a lot of stuff here.
It came out a few weeks ago. So I don't know, maybe Annie, you know, if Mike got that or not. There,
Anything I would have been given, I would have disseminated out, so.
okay, all right.
I know I sent out a lot of material.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I enjoyed reading it.
So I hope you got something out of it.
Well,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Anybody else have questions? Thank you for your time.
thank
I
you.
really appreciate it. And thanks for waiting.
Thank you.
Take care. Drive carefully, watch out for the deer. And the crazies. That's why I always tell my kids, watch out for the crazies and the deer.
Could
All
I,
right,
could I make a suggestion here?
yes,
Can we deviate from all of this stuff?
We're almost done.
We've got two firefighters
Yeah.
over there that
Oh.
couldn't be here this long.
Yeah, we're almost done. I think we just will.
public safety next.
Public works, there's public
Parks,
safety.
parks.
All right, can we just do item 3 here real quick, because we're gonna table it again. But if I'm allowed to, when we do finally do our updating the employee handbook, there are 3 things I can think of at the top of my head. I would like to see exit interviews done, dress code, and I would love to see it steps in our disciplinary actions.
All right, just,
At our at-will,
okay,
employees, I just think it's fair,
all right,
so we can move on.
okay, well, let's finish 2 real quick.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Is there any actions? Anyone would care to make any motion related to the creation of a city administrator position?
I think,
My only comment right now regarding this is that considering the news that we got tonight, I mean, there's a possibility that you could create a dual role
With emphasis on city.
city clerk.
Yep,
I mean, it's not atypical for an administrator to come in and wear multiple hats.
I think there's a few different ways to slice it and give it further consideration. We're certainly not gonna come to a conclusion this evening,
No,
Right.
so I don't know if we can take any action tonight.
no,
I'd be in favor of not taking any action tonight.
Okay, we'll move forward. So now, Kim, discuss with possible action updating the employee handbook. 3 suggestions to add exit interviews, dress code, and disciplinary tiers or steps
for at-will employees.
for at-will employees. Okay. Noted.
what about discussing possible action adopting a code of conduct for elected officials?
Well, we'll get there.
So are we?
So
are
is
we
there any
taking
action? Are we taking any action on item 3? 3 is
3, sorry.
3 is
That off.
employee handbook. We're simply adding 3 items for consideration as we continue forward with the employee handbook.
So are we?
No action.
Because if we take no action, it goes nowhere, it stops here.
Then let's just table it.
Okay, do you want
So
next month? Do
Kim
you want to push
Olson
it out a little
moves to
further?
table to August, no, committee.
Do you want to do August? Do you want to do September? I don't know if you want to get into this with budget.
I'm hoping a Hawk gets rolled in soon. Because we got,
To August committee night,
I'll second that.
second by Newman, motion by Olson, second by Newman. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
No,
Is that a no?
that's a no.
Okay. Motion carries. 4-1. Item 4, discuss with possible action adopting a code of conduct for elected officials.
I think this is an important one. You know, Kenny commented that last time that we're all adults, we don't need it, and it's a fair comment. But I think it provides guardrails, expectation, and while there's no current issues on the table right now, I think it would, I'm just back to what I'm saying, it guardrails for how we expect people to behave so that in the event you get somebody who goes a little bit off the rails, we can point and say, well, this is the expectation, how we're supposed to behave. I mean, I go to my place of employment, they have an employee handbook, they have expectations how you're supposed to behave in a professional manner. We don't have that. We don't have anything for elected officials. And I think that's something is really important for us as a city to have, so that citizens, employees of the city know that there's an expectation of how we intend to conduct ourselves.
So as adults, we all know how we're supposed to act. And because we're all individuals with feelings, emotions, I don't care if there's something in black and white. We are humans. And I don't see the need at this point. We've all made mistakes. We've all have reached our thresholds at times.
Yeah, but that's not what we're talking about, Ken. You know, because what it does is provide guidelines of how we deal with those things when that happens. So, so that we just have that expectation out there, how we're going to conduct ourselves in a professional manner. It's not about you, it's not about me, it's about how we as a city will expect our elected officials to conduct themselves, so that anybody else that comes in this role, whether it's the mayor or the next alder person, they can see what the expectation is, how we expect people and elected officials to conduct themselves. I think it's I know the Dodge County is working on that. We know that other cities have that in place, and it's back to the thing. It's guide rails. It's guarding ourselves from setting ourselves up for lawsuits or anything else that might happen because of bad behavior.
I just ask the group, if you all, each of you had the opportunity to review these samples or examples from other municipalities in there.
I agree with him 100%.
I like specific examples that have been provided, discuss appropriate conduct towards by elected officials, appropriate conduct towards city employees, appropriate conduct towards fellow elected officials, appropriate conduct towards the public. I can't see any negative aspect to simply adopting a code of conduct that clearly articulates on those matters.
I would like to make a motion to table this.
I'll second that.
All in favor of tabling, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No,
Nay. Two ayes, 2 nays, and abstain.
yeah,
Not enough votes for it to carry.
Doesn't carry.
Don't know what happens.
Someone else wants to make a different motion?
I would make a motion that we table this temporarily. We're going into some very busy times this next couple of months, especially with the budget coming up, and plus we've got to hire a new city attorney, city clerk. We're going to be very, very busy.
I'll
But
second that.
I sure would like to see it come back, maybe after budget time, where we can discuss this at greater length and maybe come up with a written code of conduct amongst ourselves.
I have no problem with that.
Defer to
So
December.
October, November,
December, yeah, November's still.
Yeah,
defer
sometime
to
after
December. Motion is to defer the topic to December, table to December.
Yes, why don't we do that?
Okay,
I'll second.
Schmidt, second by Tillman, all in favor,
Aye.
opposed? All right, December it is, thank you. Item 5, discuss with possible action, sitting term limits for mayor and alderperson positions.
Can I kill this?
All together?
Yeah.
Motion is to kill it?
I'll second.
Okay, so motion by Newman, second by Schmidt, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I brought it up specifically for wastewater commission, fire and police commission, just the amount of terms that people sit on there. Because I've been involved with, some of those and all of those at one time in place. I think we just need to make a 2-year term limit. As just I don't want to say rule of thumb, but rule of thumb, 2 years. And then you can go on to the next commission, you can go on to you could serve on the CDA, you can serve on the wastewater commission if you want to help out the city. So we have new ideas and new people in different key roles. I think it keeps the diversity of the city and it keeps fresh minds in there. That's all I have to say on that. And I'd love to see 2-year max, next committee, you can do 2 years, and the next committee, you can do 2. Because fire and police is like 5, wastewater, I don't know what that is. Library board, usually 2 years. It's all different, so it would make it easy. And I guess,
2-year point.
So,
So again, these
A lot of
are,
them are in the ordinance and some might have statute. I don't have, some have
Okay,
statute for
so
it.
I was just asking, what is wastewater? What is that term used?
I would have to pull up the ordinance.
yeah, they're all, yeah.
Okay,
and some of them are by design, the length of the term. So for instance, police and fire commission is 5 years, it's specifically.
But is there
Yeah,
anything
but
that
it's
would
the-
restrict us from saying you can only serve 1 term on each? I mean, I
Well,
understand what you're saying.
I think that the mayor himself, reappoints after each term. So what is that? The average term for a fire and police commissioner is 2 years, right? That would be the first term.
There's staggered terms, I can't recall if it's
5 years.
Is it 5 years?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's fine.
The average term is 5 years for them?
They are
People that have been on there for
5
25 years, the same people. That's what I'm trying to.
Right, and
Yeah.
I'm in agreement
Leave it
there.
about-
I mean, I think that I have to come up with new ideas when you find that the same 5 people sitting in the same seats.
I really like the idea of getting new blood in there.
mhm.
The only question I have is, we've observed the challenge of people willing to donate their time. And so if we have term limits, are we gonna create a situation where we just don't have anybody?
I think there's a possibility of that, but I think if the concern is truly the benefit of the city, then it shouldn't matter what committee you're sitting on, you should be willing to jump in there. Because if you're only willing to sit on the same committee for 20 years, then clearly there's a reason.
If people were that willing to jump into these committees, we
Would it
wouldn't
be-
have the problem to fill them in the first place.
I agree.
That's.
Would it be reasonable to set a limit, but not necessarily like a term, because you serve 10 years, or you're good. I mean, I don't know if 10 years is the number, but what I'm saying is, I could see how it does make sense to have an exit at some point. Spread around, I get it, but I think if somebody served 2 years on CDA, but they want to continue
Right,
serving forward,
We got it,
they
yeah.
should be able to do it.
right.
Here again, the mayor makes the appointment. And I think that he has to be watching these people that he appoints to these positions. And if the mayor has any indication whatsoever that a person should be replaced,
December, motion table to December by Newman,
I'll second.
second by Olson. All in favor?
I
Opposed? Motion carries. Table,
make a motion.
motion to adjourn by Newman,
Second.
second by Tillman, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Next up, I would entertain a motion to change the order
Yes.
and move public safety forward.
I would agree with that.
Agree enough to make the motion?
Well, I think we should get them out of here. They
Yeah.
really are.
These guys go home and eat supper.
All right, so the motion is by Alderman Schmidt to change the order and move public safety up. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Smith, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, public safety.
Okay.
All right, public safety.
Order, roll call.
Yeah, we'll do it all here in a moment.
Who's chair?
I am.
The other person.
Schmidt, okay.
Ready? You ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, call to order, Public Safety Committee meeting at 8:43 PM. You take roll call, please.
Absolutely. Alderperson Schmidt,
Here,
Alderperson Newman,
Here.
Alderperson Olson.
Here,
We have quorum.
okay, I would like to jump ahead of that and go to item number 5.
Motion's made to move to item number 5,
Second.
second by Newman. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, monthly fire department report.
thanks for waiting, guys.
I suffered before I came.
Some people are smarter than me.
Well, good evening. So on equipment, we did start doing the pump tests. We did get 2 of the pumps done. But one we had to stop because we developed a turbo issue, so I had to take that truck down to Milwaukee to get fixed. Luckily, it was only a sensor. And it was only a $2,200 bill or $7,500 bill, so that was a nice surprise. They are gonna come back on Monday and finish up the pump tests on the 2 trucks that are not done. Did get another cylinder in on the cylinder repair. We got 2 more to go, so that one's in there being rebuilt now, so when that one comes, we'll fix that one on the truck. 2965 was the one that had the turbo issue, our newest truck. We did stop when we had trouble with that turbo, since I was down a pumper, I stopped the other 2 tests until we got the truck back, because while we're doing the test, something else could happen. So we wanted to make sure we had a backup engine, so that's why the other. And we're still fixing hydraulic leaks on the ladder truck. I am doing the destructive test August 3rd, where they come in and they put weights on the ladder. It's strictly just the ladder. We extend it. And they measure distances, they measure cables. It's like a 5-hour test that they do. They do it every 5 years, and that's when that's happening. So that's happening on the 3rd.
When do you get that back?
4 to 6 weeks. I have to go back and look to see, but that's usually about when that comes around.
What's the highest risk of failure on a test like that?
The last time it was, they questioned the cables, and then they had the wrong truck in their database, and we went to the manufacturers and they said that the diameter of the cable was the right for that truck. So it passed, because there's parameters. They want to see what the deflection is in the ladder, because they extend it out and they put weight on it, because it's supposed to be rated at different angles, and you should have only a certain percent. Offhand, I don't know what that is, but when they do the test, the truck doesn't per se fail catastrophically. It's the measurements that they're measuring. That's what they.
Yeah, no, I get it.
But
And if it fails, is it something that could be fixed, or is it just?
it depends what it is.
We're
the-
really close.
If the aluminum lamp flex too much, I don't think we can fix the aluminum.
Yeah,
You know,
no, I get that.
If it's cables. They're gonna, like, we got leaks, I don't know if they'll get all fixed, so the deficiency is a point system also, so.
I'm not suggesting you would want to do this, but if we have a ladder that's not adequate, can we replace the whole ladder system? Is that something they even do?
No, not with the age of that truck, it's, because you have to start from the ground up, the chassis is 31 years old, so. You know, you'd rather get a 16-year-old chassis versus.
Yeah, just ask.
The foundation. All the foundation would be too poor to do anything new on it.
That's right.
For an explanation.
We purchased that truck a long time ago.
Thank you. Yeah, no.
Anything else on equipment? Then I'm gonna move into personnel or staffing. We're still at 19 members. We did get a new applicant, so that hiring process is started. We're gonna get a hold of the police and fire commission and have them and the police do a background check, and hopefully we get that done in August. Luckily, if he gets hired, we can still get him into the class this fall yet, because it's starting later, because he has no fire experience. Our other new hire is just over right now. He's grasping and stuff, but then we can get him in too, so. And if I know we've done it in the past, once they pass the background check and, we have to do the physical and stuff, we can at least enroll them. So the class knows they're coming, but if something happens to the employment process and they can't become a firefighter, we can drop out. It's easier to drop out and try to get in later. So any questions on personnel or staffing? So right now we're at 19. So with the new hire, then we'll get to 20. So we'll take any one we can get.
Yes.
Any other questions for me?
Any warm body that moved.
Yeah. They can follow direction.
If only I were younger, I'd take it up.
You'd be excellent.
I think I would.
Good evening. For fire calls, we are at 55 year to date. We're on pace now for about 96 calls or more. We've had 9 calls since our last meeting. 3 of those were EMS assist. We had 1 where it was a Mavis call. We were called out to assist another agency. 2 fire alarms, 1 landing zone for a helicopter. And then 2 we were canceled in row, which was 1 for Ottaway and then 1 for EMS where they did not need us. So we're on pace for almost 100 again this year.
Is that, what is our average number of calls on a monthly basis?
Our biggest month has been 17. Our shortest month has been 5.
And where are we now?
Right now, we're at 55. Last year, we were 120, 127, I think. 5 years ago, we used to be 60.
Yeah,
It's just,
We've almost doubled 5 years now.
yeah, I understand.
So, yeah.
Believe me.
and there's more and more Mavis calls where we're going out of the city to help neighbors.
Right.
But like when we had the fire on Green Bay, we brought in 9 neighbors to help us with our fire. So, it's goes both ways.
Yep,
So
no, I agree with you.
it's a good program.
We're not complaining. We think you guys are doing a terrific job.
Thank you.
Thankfully.
Appreciate that. Any other questions?
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Can I add one comment to with your term limits on the police and fire commission? The only thing is have a guideline, not that you give somebody and they're gonna have, so they know what direction they should do or rules they should follow, or almost like a job description. I don't know if you have that or not. It's great to have new blood in there, but they need to know the path they should follow or start out with. That's the only thing I'm gonna.
Like a knowledge base.
Yeah, knowledge or, what they should be looking for or where their ideals should come from.
There are handbooks and trainings put on by the league of
Okay.
Wisconsin municipalities, so there are the
Because
resources.
I've seen a few police and fire commissions in 39 years. so I've seen a few. Good night. Thank you.
Thank you. A couple,
Thank you.
just a couple.
I just gotta interject, I'm getting messages that all system sounds muffled is strange. I don't know if there's any way of adjusting that.
Not to my knowledge.
Okay,
So I just know they're on or they're off.
okay, all right.
Yeah, I think, maybe with people back.
Well,
at the
muffled,
polls,
yeah, there's no microphone here, so they're not gonna hear the fire department as clear as I am here, Robert's there, you're
I
there.
think it's a distance.
Be sure to project.
Okay,
Enunciate.
Maybe next time we just bring them closer in.
let's make the rest of this
All right.
go quick. Approval of minutes of the June 26th,
I make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
all in favor?
I'm sorry, who's the
Oh,
second?
I'm sorry.
You can't say,
I'm sorry. I'm trying to be able to-
So you can throw me in there.
Olson,
I'll
I'll second.
I've done it many times, Joe, so.
We can just.
Don't
You're good,
feel-
Joe. You're good, Joe.
All in favor?
All in favor?
All in favor?
I,
Item 3, citizen comments. Hearing none. Monthly EMS report, do we get anything?
Oh, Christine, Julie.
Christine and Julie, if you're still there with us.
Hi, good
Hi,
morning.
Yep,
everyone.
Here. Yep, we're
Hi
still here.
there. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, so we will try to roll through this quickly. It's been a long night for you all already. Calls for service, we are tracking ahead this year, tracking ahead of last year. Last year we had over 1,000 calls and we're definitely going to have over 1,000 calls this year. If we went into 2021, we're 60 calls ahead of where we were at that time for 2021 and almost 200 calls ahead of where we were for 2020. So our numbers are going up exponentially. And you'll see that reflected in our budget expenses, but also in our revenues. So that's keeping good pace. Staffing wise, again, we're doing very well. We are not actively seeking or hiring anyone, but as always, we want to mention if there are licensed staff, people that already have their EMS license, nursing, or a doctor, we would definitely like to interview anybody that's interested in joining our team. Julie, you want to cover training?
Yep. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
So I'm super excited that all of our EMTs, AEMTs, paramedics, we have all renewed until 2026. So super happy about that. So we start our training full speed ahead again for our next license renewal. So we're going to be doing different stations this month, just kind of going over equipment that we haven't used in a while. Plus we got some new stair chairs, which we'd love to be able to share with you guys here at some point. Run through some codes and stuff with you. So we're going to be putting those into service here as soon as we get everybody trained on that. So that's all I have.
And then for fundraising, if you follow us on Facebook, you'll see that we had our huge golf outing this past weekend. We were full. We couldn't take any more teams. We felt incredibly supported by the community and the businesses. We have an amazing team of volunteers, and I just want to give Julie and Devin and Nick McNeil and Barb Wire a shout out to the council here. You can't even imagine the undertaking it is to put something like this on, and it was just phenomenal. I mean, we received so many compliments, and we were talking today, just like we posted on Facebook, about what next year looks like. So that is our largest fundraiser. And we're going to spend the next few weeks posting all of the equipment that we purchased through our fundraising and grants. So you will see some Facebook posts of us putting things like that out there. Julie, anything else you have on the golf outing?
Nope, just like Christine said, thanks to everybody who supported us, the businesses in our area and our surrounding areas. We had a lot of support and a lot of great people that are already planning on being there next year. So keep your eyes and ears out and put it on your calendar. It's July 20th of 2024, and we will take as many teams as we can.
And
thank
then
you all.
just one other thing for equipment, our new ambulance is progressing. We have finalized some of the changes that needed to be made, and we do still anticipate taking delivery on that ambulance prior to the end of the year. That's all I have.
Thank you so much.
And I apologize to you too, because I did not intentionally snub you or try to put the fire department ahead of you. It's just that I'm staring at those guys over there.
No worries at all. We completely support. They're sitting in the building there and we're not. So no, that was a good
Until I
call.
look down at the doggone program here. So I apologize for snubbing.
Nope.
If that's the impression you got.
Not at
So
all. No snub
Thank-
taken, Mike. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for what you do for us, believe me.
Every day.
You betcha.
So,
Do we have
Mike?
the police? What? I'm sorry.
we've got John, maybe you can't see him at the podium, but are you in a totally different meeting?
Yes.
Yes.
I was the last meeting, I was the one that was.
Are you
Let's keep-
okay, because you've been here a while?
Let's keep moving.
Okay,
Oh, okay. Where are we now? That's the,
Number one on the back, second page, or excuse me, police department report.
okay, police department report.
Chief Tolner had a conflict this evening. He said that the only thing he had to pass along was to remind everyone that National Night Out is coming up on August 5th. And, he knows the email was sent out, so if any older person is available and wants to take part in the pie eating contest, please reach out to Detective Patrick.
He just wants to hit me in the face with a pie.
You're
I
gonna go to
cannot
dunk tank,
confirm
dunk
or
tank
deny.
for you.
Is there a dunk?
Yeah, for you.
I'll do the dunk.
And that's is it, now is that the tank? It's gonna be at the tank center?
It is up at the Take Center
Okay.
this year.
And if they were offering chocolate cake, I might do it.
We'll get
I'll let
you.
him know.
We love to see that.
Okay, and item number 7, I don't think we've got anything to. with that.
Actually, turn over to page 2, page 2, they're listed, there's 3 things.
Oh, my lord.
These are quick.
Okay, discuss approved temporary Class B retailers license for Main Street Mayville concert in the square.
Except for just one date.
August 10th.
Yeah,
Picnic
August 10th.
license.
it was additional that had to be added because it was separated before, so I will make a motion to approve this.
I'll second that.
All, can we do that, or do we need a roll call?
Nope,
No.
you just,
You can
All in favor?
I,
Okay, discuss recommend approval for Class A beer and liquor fermented, beverage license for Tienda Mi Ranchito and Norma Rodriguez.
Annie, would you give me a little info on this?
Sure, so there is a lady who's opening a convenience store, I believe it's a Mexican convenience store on the main street, across the street from Don Ramon's in that area. She is most way through the commercial occupancy permit, so they should be opening real soon there. They also want the ability to sell alcohol, which is why this is here. The background check's been done, that's fine. And then from this point, it would just need to be recommended to council, like any new liquor license would be from here.
We have available licenses.
We do.
Okay,
I make a
We're
motion,
getting
to
tight, but.
I make a motion to recommend it to council.
I'll second.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
And item 3, discuss with possible action amendment to municipal code section 430-25. Accessory uses and detached accessory structures to modify the language to read that detached garages must be serviced by a driveway. Eliminate the requirement for sheds and increase the allowable square footage of sheds to 200 square feet. That seems awful big shed. On a city lot.
So I'm gonna, this was mine, and I'll tell you, the reason that the modification came up is because historically zoning review board has just rubber stamped these 200 square foot structures through. And, we denied it at the last meeting because of the fact that they were doing it erroneously. I discussed with, the applicant and the zoning review board that, I think if we're going to just allow them, we should just allow them. So I rewrote everything, which was what was requested at the last meeting. The only changes to what is here, because I did submit a late revision to Anastasia, is that if you go to page 9, under floor area, after discussing it with, Rob Fro, building inspector, we dropped the detached garage to 720 square feet. And then under modifications for the floor area, that would be, amended to modifications. And it would, include maximum floor area of an accessory structure, and the requirement for a driveway may be modified subject to plan commission approval. Basically avoiding the need to go to zoning review board. That way plan commission can make a decision without having to consider hardship, which is what zoning review does.
We're still trying to envision a 200 square foot shed on a city lot.
I mean, they were approving, I looked at the history of zoning review and they were approving them, every single one.
Honestly, yeah,
Yep, yep.
still trying to picture something. Well.
The problem was that they were approving them and they shouldn't have been. And so if we're gonna approve them, we should just, I think we should just say, let's just allow it and call it a day. And it
Seems big to me, but
Yeah, that just seems big. I swear.
yeah, I mean, you gotta keep in mind that people have piles of ATVs and UTVs and, you know, there's a lot of equipment. So I don't think it's atypical and I see tons and tons of stuff like this. I mean, it's an extra 50 square feet on top of what you got.
Make a motion to move it on the council, because the council makes the final decision on it.
Recommendation council.
Your second for that motion?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Olson, did you say something, please?
I said aye.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Oh,
No, I did.
make it unanimous, aye.
Motion adjourned.
Motion, okay, second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you for allowing me to go ahead with that.
Then we go back to public.
Back to
works.
public works.
With older person Cabot not here, I don't know who you want to chair.
You just want to run it?
Sure. Oh, daughter. Public Works Committee, we take the roll.
Alderperson Tillman,
Here,
Alderperson Olson,
Here.
and Alderperson Abbott indicated he would be absent today. To have a forum.
item 2, approval of minutes.
I'll move to approve the minutes from the June 26th. Actually, what is that date?
June 26th.
Yeah, June 26th. Wanted to make sure I didn't get the wrong one here. June 26th, 23 minutes.
I will second.
And all those in
All in
favor?
favor?
Aye.
Citizen comments? There are none. Item 4, monthly utility report.
Alrighty. So Courtney sent along for water notes. Well, number 4 building and filter has been removed. Work is currently being done to pour fittings and run underground facilities to the new building. They are waiting on word on pre-construction meeting date for Alley Street and the Metalcraft Loop project. Construction is set to start in August. For wastewater, sewer cleaning and televising is complete for the year. Our wastewater permit expires in 2024. They are working on preliminary testing and have written an approved standard operational practice document for chemical phosphorus removal that is beneficial to permit reissuance. And at last month's Water Wastewater Commission meeting, a request to change the regular meeting time had no action taken, and their time remains the same. That's all I have from that.
Any discussion on that? Right.
For what?
Any questions or discussion after that report? I believe there was talk about the meeting times. That's why I said that.
Mhm.
There's been a little bit of problems with the 4 o'clock meetings, so.
It's not on the agenda though. We can't.
Oh, is it already?
It's not on the agenda
Oh.
tonight
Okay,
for discussion.
If you'd like it to come back another way, you could always kind of reach out to Courtney. Other than putting it on the agenda, I am not sure how we go about changing it.
Right. Item 5, monthly engineering and planning report.
From Nick, 231 Breckenridge, the proposed martial arts studio. The owner submitted the conditional use permit application for review. The plan commission reviewed and approved the conditional use application at their July 10th meeting. The owner is working on finishing building improvements and then will refile for the occupancy permit. 2023 street and utility projects. Crew checks has been awarded the bid for the project. Contracts are being sent out for signatures. They will coordinate with contractor to set the pre-con meeting in July. Anticipated start date is August. The 2023 PMP project, a pre-con meeting was held with Northeast Asphalt regarding this project. The work is planned to be started and completed the week of July 23rd. I've also talked to Courtney Stager regarding the County Highway V project. The Highway Commissioner informed Nick that they would be looking at a start date sometime in September for the project. Hilltop Drive development, also known as the River Knoll Industrial Park. Tom Letkwitz has started on the development of one of the 1 acre lots. Town and Country Underground has started site grading work and will be installing the services soon. Clark Street development, the proposed development for the south 5 acres of the Mayville Healthcare Realty. Plan Commission is still reviewing the proposed development. Ehlers is looking into the financial impact to the city. Leona Street development, a development is being proposed for lots adjacent to and using the undeveloped Leona Street right of way. Plan Commission has recommended to vacate a portion of the Leona Street right of way. This item will be on the next town council meeting. Hilltop Drive, a proposed siege storage facility has been proposed for lot 5 of the replat of lot 10. The Plan Commission discussed the proposed development and gave the go-ahead. A developer's agreement is being discussed. He also added an area around William Street is being looked at as a potential rezone. There are currently single-family houses that are zoned RM multifamily. Further information is being collected on the parcel in this zoned area.
Which one was that? About rezoning?
Around William Street.
Williams, okay.
Okay, item 6, monthly DPW report.
From Jack, bulk pickup was once again busy. He says they repaired a storm sewer that runs under the bridge on Bridge Street. All went very well. Brush pickup is second and last Monday of the month. Our guys are still painting crosswalks and curbs. Diggers have been very busy with all the construction in town. They are still cutting lawns about every 2 weeks. And they have removed quite a few tree stumps from the local parks. So that is Jack's report.
Okay, item 7, monthly park report.
Thank you, gentlemen.
I cut my report down from about an hour and a half to hopefully 5 or 10 minutes.
Sweet, thank you.
Everybody happy now.
Good guy.
Buildings, rental's been continued to be really good at all facilities, especially at Pavilion. Been showing Pavilion a lot for 2024 events already. With sports slowly ending for the summer, we're able to start working on buildings and shelters, top priorities, motels inside and out. Ziegler Scores booth will need a lot of attention, and the Ziegler light poles have been shipped. So hopefully we'll see those by the end of the week, and that the lights up at Ziegler can start to, I guess, be erected. So cool. Yeah, that'd be nice to have that. So any questions on buildings? All right, ground, as everybody knows how dry it is. It's been nice to be able to cut back on mowing once every couple weeks. Been watering flowers on Main Street and keeping Main Street clean and sidewalks clean around businesses every week. We had a tree fall on Main Street last week. With that, I contacted our tree service that we have for our tree program. Find out the type of trees that we should have on Main Street. The trees that we have down there are not the right ones. And a couple have been hit already, so there's a few more that are ready to go down or need to be taken down. And we're gonna have something in place to start replacing these trees and not putting the same trees that we have up there right now. They're just not the right ones in that application. So they haven't gotten back to me with that, but they're gonna get back soon with that.
Where did the street fall?
Right in front of Manual office.
Madness?
Yeah, it went right onto his, right onto the building. Didn't do any damage or anything, but yeah,
Well, at least nobody got hit.
yeah, it went, so.
Oh.
It's just it's so dry. All the trees were it's it was a tree pipe up and that big. But all the trees are so stressed, and then you go on Main Street where they can't get even less water than they're getting out on.
Right.
Everywhere else and the wood side is so dry and.
See that?
Those are just death boxes. You
So-
need the proper tree.
Yeah, the Jack has actually went around, looked at all the trees and then actually gonna start taking a few more down once we get it in place, so we kind of get away from having to fall out of business again. Because some are really damaged from getting into cars, and we just want that to happen again, be proactive. But then that, been working with Dawn on Main Street Mabel about a plan for decorating Main Street for Christmas. We currently have no decorations, but we have a plan in place now for the initial decorations, hopefully, it sounds good, and I'll raise money for future decorations. We plan to use volunteers to help decorate.
Feel free, anybody who wants to step up. I will try my best.
We have a very good volunteer group in Mayville that helps out on Main Street, helps out the parks and stuff like that, really giving community, so it's been good, so don't say it that way. So senior center, seniors need to continue to play cards, play bingo weekly, just finalized date for Dodge County ADRC to run a 5-week program at the center on falls for seniors. They will be partnering with Back in Action. Any questions on that? Then the next thing is I was gonna give you an update on the proposed Rotary pickleball courts, our last park board meeting. We discussed the proposed new 2 pickleball courts that the Rotary wants to do as a large project up by Fireman's Field baseball field. We've been waiting for Rotary to receive word that they received the grant and they have received it. So the project is gonna be going forward. The park board met at the site at the last meeting. Where I have the courts laid out where they're gonna be located. We went through the whole project, start to finish, from the concrete to the nets, the paint, fencing all around and lights. And after discussing the project, the park board voted to approve the project. So it's gonna be an awesome project. Rotary continues to build up that area with projects they've done, from lights on the bridge, the kayaks, and the new building, the Frisbee golf course, and now pickleball courts all in that area.
Where's that gonna be put?
Fireman's Field, so we're just south of Fireman's Field is the batting cages for Fireman's Field. Just south of that, there's a big open area up on top of the hill there that it will easily accept that 2 pickleball courts. So pickleball courts are gonna be 64 feet by 75 feet, so not a huge area. But why they want to go there with it is parking across there, and we have to keep bathrooms open up there. So it's a nice area for them to go.
Nice addition.
It's gonna be a great addition. It's gonna be their largest project that they've done. Up to date so far.
This will be great. Cool.
Yeah, so just want to kind of give you an update of where that's at. Hopefully that all starts and concrete's poured about towards the end of August for a finish sometime this fall.
Terrific. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So last thing is just want to discuss the parks winter plowing and where we're at with that. I know it's only August, but it is already August, or at least in a few days here. But I just wanted to discuss the parks equipment that we have for plowing. As some of you already know, that the parks we plowed with an F-250. And that F-250 is a 2000, it's been plowing for 23 years. Last March, the transmission started failing on it. And a lot of other stuff has been failing on it. If you see this truck, it's amazing things you can hold it together. In fact, the box is being held on with 4x4s. It has for a bunch of years. But I know what has been a good time up to this point to talk about it with just getting financing design and everything like that, but I just wanted to start getting prepared for winter. So the part, I just want to go through kind of what the parks do. We help with the Take Center. We do senior center pavilion, parking lots of Tyler, Ziegler. But one of the most important things that we do in the parks is when there's a rental at the senior center, rental at the pavilion, wedding, anything like that, we're on standby to keep it open, to get them in and out of there because of where it's located. So, you know, I'm just looking at the options that we have as far as that truck is not going to be able to plow this year again. So the options we have is either to contract on service or look at getting different equipment. I talked to Jack about it already, and they have all to keep up with all their stuff on the streets and keep their area going like that. They're going around the clock if need be. They do a great job in Mayville. But I just wanted to bring it to attention and just kind of know what your thoughts were, or just bring it, set it on the table and try to plan early for, I guess if we'll go forward with what option you want me to do. So
for snow plowing, another super duty or something like
Yeah.
that's what you're thinking, not a big plow truck.
yeah, F-250 is all we need when they plow in the front. Yep, that works for all the areas that we do, and yep. And like I said, that one we got 23 years out of.
I suspect so. That's astounding.
3 years, yeah.
You're gonna need a new, so if the council was to approve a plow truck, you'd need it by November.
Well, that's, I just want to, be proactive. You want me to start getting bids on one and get the government pricing. We do get discounted through government pricing. Get all the major brands. All we just needed one is that set for plowing, transmission cooler, Super Duty, nothing fancy, nothing.
Yeah, keep it. Yeah, I mean, I would say,
So do
all,
we-
but I mean, he ought to do.
No, I
Find out what all of it entails.
sure wouldn't hurt to get
There's a number here anyway.
it in action.
Was it item 8?
That's on, that's on.
Oh, okay, yeah, all right.
I think it was already needed a year ago, if not longer. But I would like to see this.
We're gonna get there.
All right.
That's on here.
I realize if it snows this weekend, we're gonna blame you.
Yeah.
And I
It
apologize.
could be the furthest away from snow this weekend when they were talking for each.
Yeah, and I apologize for skipping past you.
Oh, no big deal.
I didn't, I don't know where.
Not a big deal at all. Everybody wants to stay here, so.
Yeah,
So I just want to bring it on the table, so whatever we decide on, it's,
What do you?
Yeah, it looks like we're hitting that in the next.
okay.
Oh,
No, it's
No,
number eight.
It's
the
a number
last
8
item.
here. Yeah.
Oh,
Possible action.
got it, okay.
So, yeah, if you're all set, we'll move on and we'll start having a conversation.
John, did you get any prices at all?
I have not done anything yet. I just want to see what the feel was on the council, where we were at with everything. I can start that process tomorrow
Yeah.
if need be.
Yeah.
So, and other than last thing I got here, date and time, the next park board meeting, Wednesday, August 2nd, 6 p.m. at the senior center.
All right,
All right,
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Right, number 8, items of discussion with possible action. 1, discuss with possible action, park board recommendation to accept proposed Rotary Club project for pickleball courts.
Kim Holston, Jack Abbott, Joseph Tillman.
Kim, you want to make that motion?
You want to make a motion, Kim?
Say it one more time, please. Oh, yes, I would like to make that motion
Recommended to council.
to recommend that to council.
Second,
Moved and seconded.
all in favor?
All in favor?
I kind of semi calendar.
Yeah, that's okay.
2, discuss with possible action options for park department for plowing for upcoming winter.
Make a recommendation
You can make a motion. too.
or make a motion.
Yeah, I mean, I guess,
I think only Kim and Joe can make motions. on
Right.
it.
Yeah. Right.
My recommendation would be to have John go get some quotes on trucks.
yeah, I mean, I think that's.
Started with the council.
We gotta-
Or refer to the finance committee for, August.
Yeah, make a motion to refer to finance committee for August.
And second then.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Got it.
All
John.
right, John.
At 9, a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, finance committee,
Oh, he's gonna do it. All right, perfect.
call to order at 9:21, finance committee.
You got the whole-
Oh, yeah, sorry.
All right, Alderperson Smith,
Here.
Alderperson Newman,
Here.
Alderperson Tillman,
Here.
Alderperson Schmidt,
Here,
Alderperson Olson,
Here.
Alderperson Abbott is excused.
Can I get approval of the minutes for June 26, 2023, finance of the whole committee meeting?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Citizen comments. Are there any citizen comments?
I think they all ran away.
All ran
Says
away.
chickens.
And no. Item 4, tax report.
Michaela said she would.
He's gonna send the
Email,
email.
send that in. All right, so move on. Treasurer's report.
No
Treasurer,
report.
we don't have-
No report. Item 6, items of discussion, possible action. 1, review the possible action civics system upgrade.
From emails that I've seen, we're still scheduled for August 15th to commence the upgrade. We are prepared.
So we don't have to do anything.
There's no action to be
No
taken.
action, all right. Item 2, review with possible action, presentation from MSA Professional Services.
If I may, I spoke with Joe DeYoung at MSA today. Gave him an update with our new vacancy at city clerk, and he is going to provide some direction on what they could do to help augment the staff, if that's the route that we need to go while we're looking for a new city clerk.
Is that really needed?
I don't know yet. I mean, it looks like, first of all, we're gonna have a special meeting next Tuesday at 6. I think we all agreed that perhaps we had a candidate from tonight who might make sense to also apply or to look at that position. So we don't necessarily need it, but that's my update.
Okay.
Thank you, John. Any other questions or comments? All right, moving on to item 3, discuss possible action recruitment options for tag center lifeguards.
To be honest with you, I don't know what,
I think this might be that we're having a problem with getting lifeguards.
everybody is.
Because of, the pay.
But I thought this was addressed already, increase the pay.
Personnel recommended it to finance.
Right.
Okay.
So I think it needed to be voted on. Was it $13?
Michaela had indicated she thought 13 would be a good starting point.
All right, so we just need to approve this.
You would recommend the council to approve $13 an hour for lifeguards.
Oh,
And then it'll be voted on by the council in 2 weeks.
Is that your recommendation?
yes.
Okay, I'd second that.
All in favor? Aye. Moved. Item 4, discuss with possible action upgrading equipment for older persons.
I might know a little bit about this. I just want to go back in time a little bit, because at that time, they're already getting old. Our laptops, but,
Yeah, I'm agreeing with.
okay, so anyways. It was, Tracy had said that was already budgeted for getting new ones. And so I guess that's where we're at, and then I'll let Annie fill in what, I don't know.
So I did reach out to Bob with Wise Guys IT. I had asked him if he could look into some things and at least get you guys some quotes. I asked if something like a Chromebook would work for this capacity. He said I believe he said Minute Track would not support that, so he still thinks it might be a laptop situation. But as of right now, he has not gotten me any quotes on that, other than telling me a Chromebook probably won't work for the capacity you need.
I use the Chromebook and wouldn't be happy with it.
Oh, really?
Performance wise, no.
Okay,
So, I also think that this is a topic that during budget season we ought to look at. We ought to look at, a leasing program so that we can cycle every 2 years for the hardware for the city. I want to explore a little bit more.
Oh, logical.
Otherwise, you're just spending $1,000 a pop, and it's just
Yeah.
burning out every 2 years, so.
yeah.
Look at it.
I mean, they're definitely in need.
Yeah, they
And
do.
that's like,
Oh, it's
brutally slow.
yeah, it is. Yep.
Does lessons come with this? You're looking at somebody that's about as computer literate as the.
I was Jack Hurst from training.
That's funny.
Yeah, you're looking at a person that threatened to throw his computer out the window at home, my own personal one.
All right, so I would like to make a motion then about getting some pricing on what equipment would work for us, or leasing, buying or leasing, explore all the options. for us. 'Cause those babies are old, and mine's not even workable right now.
I give my back.
Can we, I mean, I agree with that approach. I'm just trying to think of the best way to just defer it to budget season,
Okay,
then we'll figure it out.
all right.
Sounds good. The second then,
So Kim's motion,
I'll second it.
second by Schmidt.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries.
Item 5, discuss possible action, the default status of revolving fund loan to Cardinal Lane.
I did some research, so there are 3 revolving loans out. At some point in time, City Hall stopped sending out bills. I have a report from, that Nicole was able to put together, and I would simply say that we need to get those with revolving loans or funds current.
I agree,
We have to get them current.
but I do want to point something out, because when I saw this, I'm like, no, what the heck? So from my understanding was this particular one that's listed was current, but then there was a partner that left. And because of the division of the money in the partnership, I guess this was in May, so it's with the attorney. And as soon as that division is done, they will be current. That's what I was told.
Cardinal Lanes?
Yeah,
So they should, I would encourage them to communicate. with
yeah,
the state.
and they did say that there was communication in May. And, I was told it's the same law firm.
Well, look, so. You know, again, small town, the city attorney also does some work for them.
Okay,
I have asked city attorney to just give a reminder, ask them to reach out to the city,
yeah,
and, they said they would, we haven't heard anything.
and that's what they said too. We haven't heard anything.
So here's, I mean, the way I look at it, look, you know. I haven't read the complete loan agreement. I don't know stipulation that says, hey, the city has to send an invoice for them to get payment. I know that if my bank doesn't send me an invoice of the month, I'm still paying my mortgage because it's the right and responsible thing to do. I just want to get these things current
Okay,
and, you know, not come down on anybody, but we just gotta, look, I think it was a bad idea to do these revolving loans in the first place. We're not a bank. If you read the resolution about the whole revolving loan program, just the support infrastructure behind the scenes to do it is just astronomical.
I think the goal wasn't for incentive. That was, you know, it came from a good place, from the heart, I guess.
Yeah.
And like anything, it's got its pros and its cons, so.
I mean, if you have contacts and you want to just see, you know, you just want to get current, that's it.
Yeah, and that's, I just did this today, and it will be current.
All right. Very good.
Excellent.
Let's move
Any
on.
other discussion? All right, item 5, item 7, adjournment. Do I have a motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. We're adjourned.
Is that all?
Is that it?